All right, thank you for tuning in to part two of our Q&A. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, let's see. The next one said, this is from Nirvanix88. Good to hear Dex again. 4 to 5 years ago, when the Dow was at 14,000, everybody in the alternative media said it was going to crash again. But Dex said, nope, it's going up, up, up. He was right and everybody else was wrong. I suspect he's right about the mining stocks as well. Thank you for remembering that. And just like I said in the last video, those of you who are new to the channel, I think you owe it to yourself to check out the Wide Awake News playlist that I have here on the channel with me and Charlie McGrath, the late Charlie McGrath, the late great Charlie McGrath. And I think you'll find a lot of things we talked about have become prophetic. And this was, 5 and 6 years ago, and it's just amazing stuff there. Definitely timeless. All right, the next one is from Oracle. He says, I'm disappointed at the turn SGT has taken. This is just the type of psychology that the powers that be rely on to suck average people into their world of high frequency trading computer algos and not holding what you own. Just try and ask for the physical shares of these stocks and see where you get. You may make a profit, or the custodian who hold your shares could go belly up tomorrow. You just don't know. A lot of average people listen to this. Just know that if you put your money into the financial system, you could lose everything anytime. If you don't mind the risk, go for it. And then someone replied, Power Gear said Dex is a trader, not an investor. As Snoop Dogg would rap, I don't love them hoes. All paper investments. You gotta love them, then leave them. And then furthermore, IB12541 says, how accurate can charts be in a manipulated market? Are you now saying all markets are rigged except the miners? Can we now minimize our risk by trading stocks that we never actually take possession of? Interesting reversals, SGT. And then last but not least, DCK Matrix says, I smell a pumper. All right, let's deal with these right here. Okay, first of all, I think I addressed in the last video the difference between a pumper, someone who pumps and dumps and things like that. That is not the case here. That is not what's going on. How can I be a pumper if I don't even own the shares? That would be stupid. The definition of that is what I addressed in the last video. No need to waste time going through that again. Not calling you stupid, sir or ma'am. What I'm saying is that that flies in the face of what the definition is. So, all right, we've already addressed that. Okay, let's deal with as far as taking possession and things like that. Okay, I've been dealing with this for several years now, and so let's nip this in the bud. I know it is a big transition for stackers to go from stacking to trading in the stock market. It's foreign to you. It's not a concept that you understand. And I get it, because it's not the same thing. You're trying to apply principles of aerodynamics to driving a tricycle. It won't work. The tricycle is not constructed with the same physical aspects of a jet. All right? It's totally different. Everything about the two vehicles are different. All right? From head to tail, it's different. When you're talking about gold and silver and stacking, that's what you do. All right? The concept of trading in the paper markets, you're already doing it every day and you're not even thinking 2 cents about it. But it seems like whenever someone like me brings up trading and taking advantage of the manipulated markets and turning it on its head so that you can benefit and prosper from it, people get scared and shook. Why are you shook? No one's taking anything from you. I'm trying to give you something, not take something from you. I'm trying to teach and educate you on how you can get out of that mindset that's going to have you messed up. That's all I'm saying. Listen to me. I don't care if you got $1 million in gold and silver stashed away. That's nice. That's good for you. We're not talking about stacking. We're not talking about an economic collapse. We're not talking about anything about that with the monetary system. I've already addressed that in the series. There is no collapse. I strongly urge you to listen to that in its entirety. I think you will learn a lot. All right, let's deal with this. Okay, so most of you who say you shy away from the stock market because you don't get to hold your receipts, someone else is holding these stock certificates, the broker's holding it or whatever, you don't really own it because you're not holding it. That's not the concept of trading. Who cares about who holds the paper? By the time you get in and out of it, you don't own it no more anyway. That's not the purpose of getting into the stock market. See, traditionally, Wall Street has trained the average American citizen that they need to buy and hold something. They call it value investing and all these other concepts where you buy some blue chips or whatever the case may be, whatever sector, and you hold on for dear life. And the idea is that the stock market's always going to go higher. It's been designed so that it always goes higher because earnings will grow over time and the company will, through its research and development department, will find clever new discoveries and new ways of doing old things and presenting new things all together, and then they'll be able to reinvest into the company and buy other companies and all these great and wonderful things in theory. However, the markets stopped being practical a very long time ago. Okay, here's how the game is now. The way the game is now is you don't buy a stock and hold on and then, your heirs will inherit it. This ain't the old school days of Standard Oil. All right, this is not that. Okay, it's not the days of Standard Oil or IBM or none of that stuff. Those days are dead. Okay, they're gone. They're not coming back. All right, the world has changed dramatically since then. The game now is all done by computers. Everything is being run by computers. Okay, don't be afraid of technology. Okay, so it's not about taking possession of something. I know you're used to that. You're used to buying a stock or buying a gold bar, a gold coin, a silver coin, whatever, silver bar. You're used to that and taking delivery and holding and say, hey, I own it, which is true. You don't. That's not the goal when it comes to the stock market. What you're doing is you're trading trends. You're going along with the trend of a market. So if, let's say, Walmart stock is in a bull market, then you want to buy that stock and you want to ride it for all it's worth. Once the trend stops, you get out of it. And now you're no longer long the stock. Now you get a chance to short the stock and ride it on its way down. So you're buying when stocks are going up, you're selling short when they're going down. It's just that simple. It's not difficult. Okay? That's how the game is played. Now, as far as saying, oh, you could lose everything. Okay, well, here's how you deal with that. This is why I take profits along the way. All right, that's why I say in my videos, bulls make money, bears make money, but pigs get slaughtered. Okay, if you do not take your profits, that is your own fault. You will never go broke taking profits. Period. You will never go broke taking profits. But now let's deal with the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room, based on this this comment, is that because you don't hold something, you don't own it. That's the first thing. The second argument in this comment is that at any moment your financial institution can go belly up. Okay, so let me ask you this. If you truly believe that, then why do you even have a bank account? Why do you even hold money in that bank account? And don't tell me that your money is FDIC insured. Because here's a little secret that most of you don't know. The bank has 99 years to pay you back in the case of a default. Did you know that? 99 years. So yeah, it's insured if you want to call it that, but you may not see that money for 99 years. All right, just something to think about. Something to chew on, swallow, and think about. Third, with that kind of defeatist attitude, you can't even get up and go outside in the morning. Because follow this. Taking your logic to its logical conclusion, here's what happens. Okay, so you don't have a bank account because the bank at any moment could go under, and then you lose all your money. Then you can't pay your mortgage, you can't pay your car payment, you can't do anything, right? Well, think about it. If that's the case, then you won't be able to function in this society because you're afraid that at any moment something can go belly up. So that means you won't go to work either, because at any moment your company that you work for could go belly up and you won't get your paycheck. But no, you don't do that. You don't refuse to work because at any moment your job can say, I'm not paying you, we've run out of money. You go to work anyway on the good faith that because you've been paid before, you'll be paid again. Right? You have a bank account because you know you need to in order to do certain transactions. You can't do them without having a bank account now. Okay? They've made it very difficult for people to skirt around the bank. They don't want you going around the banking system. They want you to deal with the banking system. So as hard as you try not to, you're forced to deal with the banking system. They put in place anti-money laundering laws to make it even harder for you to try to circumvent the bank. So therefore, you cannot circumvent the bank. So what I'm trying to say is you have insurance. You have health insurance and life insurance. Why do you have health insurance and life insurance? You don't own it, okay? You send them a premium payment, but you don't own the company. You don't own anything. All you're doing is transferring risk. That's all you're doing. But you're taking a risk and transferring your risk because when you go to file a claim, they may not pay for it. They could say we're out of money. I know that you've been paying for this insurance, but we can't cover that wind damage or that water damage to your home. We're so sorry, we don't have any money. Or we know you've been paying your health insurance premiums, but we can't pay for that much needed life-saving surgery. I'm afraid you're going to die because we don't have the money. We went belly up last night. At the moment you got diagnosed, that's when we went belly up. I mean, come on. You can't live your life like that. Yeah, things can happen, but that's not a reason to avoid them. So you avoid health insurance because of the company could go belly up. You avoid life insurance for the same reason. Come on, people. That's not a good argument. All right. And then the other issue, well, it's manipulated. So everything's manipulated but the miners. I addressed that in the last video. No, all the electronic markets are manipulated. Everything you know about the U.S. economy is manipulated. Everything. Does that mean we don't operate in it? No, we have to. We don't have a choice. Okay. The system, our very monetary system, is corrupt. Our political system is corrupt. Our federal government is corrupt. But it does not mean that we don't deal with it. We're in the world, but not of it. You still have to live in the village, so to speak. All right? Unless you're going to be a bushman and live in the bushes, up in the mountains somewhere, or in the plains, away from civilization and have no interaction with other human beings, go right ahead and do that. But the moment you need to go to the store and get supplies, now you're interacting with society again. You cannot avoid interacting with society at some point. You're going to have to at some point. So why not use what is in place to your advantage instead of making excuses of why you don't? All right? Unless you are a multi-billionaire or trillionaire, then you can say I don't need to do it. I don't need the money. But most of us work for a living and we're not. Okay? And even if you were, you still would not be able to bypass the system. The fact that you are a multi-billionaire or trillionaire is because you have worked extensively inside of the financial system. All right, to some degree. You cannot avoid it. So now that we've dealt with that and we've kicked the elephant out of the room, let's deal with how you go about doing it. Okay? So we know the system is corrupt. All right, we know that. So the way you defeat it and beat it is to trade and not invest. You do not hold stuff that is a depreciating asset. You get rid of depreciating assets. You get it off your books, you get it out of your portfolio. All right, a depreciating asset to us is like a non-performing asset to a bank. It must be liquidated. It's a thorn in your side. It's a thorn in your accounting books. Get rid of the non-performing asset. Get rid of the depreciating asset. Same thing with trading in the stocks. If I'm long silver and silver is depreciating on me and I get stopped out, my stop takes me out of that position. I want to be out. I don't want to be long anymore beyond my stop loss. My stop loss is there to stop the bleeding. The stop loss tells you when you're wrong. That's why a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times, I will get stopped out and automatically reverse my position. It's a stop. I use it as a stop and reverse. So if I'm long silver at $115 an ounce and it drops to $105 an ounce, then I may get short at $105 an ounce as it rides down to $90 an ounce. See how that works? That's called trading. Now, I want you to understand something because I know you guys are struggling with this. I don't mean I'm selling my gold and silver physicals. See the trading of the paper market as a hedge against your physicals. All right? You don't want to go and start selling your physicals. You want to hold those. That's your insurance right there. Trading the paper market is your insurance against your physicals. That's all it is. So if you have physical gold, I don't care what price you bought it for. I don't care if you inherit it freely. All right? If you own the physicals and those markets are being attacked by the central banks and the price is dropping precipitously, all right? That affects the value of your gold in that currency or your silver in that currency if you, for whatever reason, needed to exchange that for services, for goods and services. All right, I'm just saying. So why not short the gold and silver paper market, make a ton of money doing that, and then use that money to stack more gold and silver? You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's just common sense, people. It's not difficult. It's not rocket science. All right? Trading is the hardest thing you will ever do, but it's also the most rewarding, and it's also at the same time the easiest thing you ever do. Once you understand the concepts and you understand the precepts and you know the rules of the game, you will be in a much better position. Trust and believe that. All right, moving on. Okay, here, let's see. I think we just dealt with this, so I won't go into this other stuff, but I'll just touch on it. Let's see, another one. Showstopper says, get the shares in your own name and out of the street name. Wouldn't it make it 10 times harder to sell it? When you do, it's not going to be for the price you're looking at for the day. What's the advantage of getting shares in your own name? Again, I think we just finished dealing with that. That's it. It's not about that. Next one, everything paper or worthless, folks. Hold physical, hold physical. Be careful of the information out there. Think for yourselves. Again, no one's saying not to hold physical. I'm talking to people that are holding physical, not people that do not own physical. I will never tell you to get out of your physical shares ever. I said shares. Your physical gold and silver ever. All right? I am saying make money in the paper markets, beat them at their own game. That's all I'm saying. You would be silly not to participate. It doesn't make sense. You're cutting your own hands off at that point. All right, next one says, could you in time take a look at Brazil Resources? It's a very popular gold uranium company and it's buying up cheap assets left and right. I will take a look at that, and I'll put that maybe in the next end of day gold and silver report. We'll see. Okay, what are the mining stocks that you follow? The mining stocks that I follow are listed on the weekly post waves that I put out. So you can find that list there. You can subscribe at the website for that. All right. Also, how did you set up your chart? I see you are using the cloud to find bullish trends. Any tips or advice? Anything is appreciated. Yeah. Okay. Let's go into that. Basically, I'm using the Thinkorswim trading platform by way of TD Ameritrade. Basically, I'm setting up. You can see here. This is you see the blue line, the purple line, the orange line. The blue line is the short term. The purple line is the intermediate, and the orange line is the long term. Everything that I use, my indicators and everything, are proprietary. I program my own algorithms, my own system, and everything. It's all my stuff. When I'm doing the videos, though, I use the indicators and stuff that comes in the charting package in here. And this just helps so that you all can see what I already know. So this just helps, gives the visual to what I already know. That's just all this is. All right, that's all we got time for. I'll break down some more. Looks like we're gonna have to do another installment. So I'll see you in the next one. We still have more to go. Can charts be in a manipulated market? Are you now saying all markets are rigged except the miners? Can we now minimize our risk by trading stocks that we never actually take possession of? Interesting reversals, SGT. And then last but not least, DCK Matrix says, I smell a pumper. All right, let's deal with these right here. Okay, first of all, I think I addressed in the last turn SGT has taken. This is just the type of psychology that the powers that be rely on to suck average people into their world of high-frequency trading computer algos and not holding what you own. Just try and ask for the physical shares of these stocks and see where you get. You may make a profit, or the custodian who hold your shares could go belly up tomorrow. You just don't know. A lot of average people listen to this. Just know that, and just like I said in the last video, those of you who are new to the channel, I think you owe it to yourself to check out the Wide Awake News playlist that I have here on the channel with me and Charlie McGrath, the late Charlie McGrath, the late great Charlie McGrath. And I think you'll find a lot of things we talked about have become prophetic. And this was, 5 and 6 years ago, and it's just amazing stuff there. Definitely timeless. All right, the next one is from Oracle. He says, I'm disappointed at the turn. If you put your money into the financial system, you could lose everything anytime. If you don't mind the risk, go for it. And then someone replied, Power Gear said, Dex is a trader, not an investor. As Snoop Dogg would rap, I don't love them hoes. All paper investments. You gotta love them, then leave them. And then furthermore, IB12541 says, how accurate. All right, thank you for tuning in to part 2 of our Q&A. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, let's see. The next one said, this is from Nirvanix88. Good to hear Dex again. 4 to 5 years ago, when the Dow was at 14,000, everybody in the alternative media said it was going to crash again. But Dex said, nope, it's going up, up, up. He was right and everybody else was wrong. I suspect he's right about the mining stocks as well. Thank you for remembering.